What's up, miscreants? We're back, but this time not in AWTD. Yep, my first non-AWTD video. Thought I'd do ALS today. So, yeah, they had a Chainsaw Man update several days ago now, but um, I have not been playing ALS. I'll be honest, I'm not that good at ALS either. I just haven't been on that grind, and I'm not really interested in it either. However, I thought I would make a video on it because a friend of mine has well, yeah, been on that grind. It's right here. You could say hello to him. Yeah, yeah. You could look at him. Hey, don't turn to me. So, we're gonna start with Aki, mostly because he has glitched mystical, which, yeah. So, Aki is a interesting unit. So, to begin with, as you can see, the damage is good, which is really nice. But you might notice a completely unrelated flaw. Um, Ground. For whatever reason, I guess the developers hate Aki. So, good job, Brandon. That's the guy who made. Yeah, trust me. So this is a weird mechanic, but we'll get to that. I think once we get into curse mode here, which we're not going to right now. Look at you. So for now, we're going to keep it at this. So the health is going to impact whether he's hybrid or not. We'll get to that in a second. Fox Demon does 300% damage, bleed, I think, off of that multiplier, although often if it is, it will just say that. It'll do 5% of his current HP. Wait, no, it steals current HP. Does that mean it heals him by that much? Interesting. Well, he loses 40% damage for a little bit, and after that time's up, he essentially just kills something, and then he'll deal that damage to all enemies in his range, which isn't a whole lot of damage, the grand scheme of everything, but it is a 5 use ability, so the main thing it really is, I think, to steal the health, which normally I would just assume that is like not to be taken literally and more as just it does a 5% damage thing. But in this case, it's hard to tell if it would heal him or not. And I would assume it might, but I'm not super worried about that. Even if it does, it's not a huge deal. To be honest, his ability is not that good. I mean, instantly kill the strongest enemy on the map, that's fine. I imagine it probably doesn't work on bosses unless it's an infinite, which is just usually the case for things that just kill things. So, yeah, yikes. All right, curse mode. Well, I suppose we should talk about. Well, damn. Okay, my bad. I shouldn't have said anything. Oh, the pass is still here. So he technically doesn't have this active anymore because we went into curse mode, but when he's not in curse mode, he has this, which for the first time whenever he hits an enemy, all of these abilities, all of the 50% more crit damage and 100% more overall damage, which is clearly very good, assuming the enemy is ground, which they should be. So, which you should hope they should be. He also gets damage increase over time, which I think you lose the buff. You lose all of this when you go into curse mode. Which, I mean, it's a fine ability, but honestly, there's just no good reason not to be going into curse mode. So, for the sake of that, I'm just gonna delete you, because it's gonna take a while. Now we need Aki to get some kills in while we talk about Curse Demon. So, each attack gains a curse stack. Every third curse stack, he loses 2% of this health here, and he gains guaranteed crit and massively increased crit damage, 150%. He also activates Zero, which just extinguish and stun, essentially. And they might die. It's a very low chance, but they might die. So it's a maybe nuke. Um, Devil's Decline. Each time Zero is triggered, drain life by 10%, which you can see has been taking effect the entire time. And there, well, that just happened. Well, I guess we'll get back to that when he's done healing. So for now, while in the Gun Demon form, he regenerates 2% health per second, clearly. He's also hybrid, and he has bleed. Once it becomes 100, back into the curse form. So you can go back to talking about Devil's Decline. So, drains 10% of the life bar, and when it reaches 0, he turns into the Gun Devil. He loses some damage, much better SPA, which, I mean, I would say his SPA is already pretty decent. He has better range, and he has hybrid. Switching between forms removes the buffs, so you don't get any of the bonuses between them. Like, while Gun Devil 1 is active, you don't get Devil's Decline or Curse Demon or anything like that. So, I mean, that makes sense. That's fine. And I'm pretty sure you might not have Fox Demon, but I'm not sure on that one. All right, so we're about to get, yes. So, Gun Demon. Once he comes back to full, it will put him back into his curse mode, like the one we were just in. And this one, every 2 attacks he alternates, which happens quite frequently, as you can see with his ridiculously high stack rate. So he has Hemorrhage, Mutilate, Bleed, and Cripple, which alternate very quickly. So he has minor stat variations between all of those, but obviously that's just a lot of good damage. So while as the Gun Devil, no matter how short it is, that he is the Gun Devil, as you can see, he switches between the forms fairly frequently too. So he isn't the Gun Devil for long. While he is the Gun Devil though, he's an absolute powerhouse, just ridiculously good DPS. The main issue is he isn't always the Gun Devil, and that leads to him not always being hybrid, which is his only major fault. I will note a lot of people, I know a lot of people, including my friend here, is not happy with him just not being straight up hybrid, which is a valid concern, of course. But I also think that it's more pressing that it's just extreme inconsistency between his DPSs, because when you look at it like this, it's so obvious he's hitting much, much harder in his gun devil form. Not particularly because he's hybrid, but just because he has access to like 30 different, some very powerful deities. But even then, when he's just fighting enemies, flying enemies make up a minority of the enemies you'll be facing. So at the end of the day, he's still doing a good deal of work, but he's just not very versatile when it comes to that. Anyway, that's that. His cosmetic is fine, I guess. I'll be honest, I've actually never seen it, but I imagine it's fine. Most of the cosmetics in this game are just fine, and that's kind of all they are. Um, which, I mean, yeah, whatever. This game's not much for cosmetics. Anyway, that's it. That's the Aki video. Bye bye.